What do we want? When do we want it?
Dropping the rock has been a demand for years, a push for the state to get rid of its Rockefella Drug Laws enacted decades ago during a violent heroin epidemic. Recently, Governor Patterson and lawmakers reached a deal to drop most of what remains of the law.
We will expand with resources the drug courts and also all of our treatment facilities.
The deal abolishes mandatory minimum prison sentences for lower-level drug felons. It also gives judges new discretion to send drug-addicted offenders who are not violent to drug treatment instead of prison.
I got arrested for possession of drugs.
Carlos Rangel had no criminal record and was not accused of any violent activity when he was first arrested in 1970. He was selling drugs to support his own cocaine habit. After serving 20 years, he was released. But it didn't take long for Rangel to return to the streets, dealing and abusing drugs, and soon he was handcuffed again.
When you come out of jail, you come out like a tiger. You come out like angry. You come out of jail, they give you $40 to get out of jail. What do you expect that people are going to do?
The second time around, however, the DA offered him the option to go to drug treatment instead of prison. For the next 3 years, he will live at Odyssey House in Harlem. Rangel says treatment would have helped him change his life all those years ago.
This is a new beginning for me. See, and when you first time offenders and those people that be convicted, they ain't got no violence, they ain't got no business behind bars in the penitentiary. They should be in the drug program. That's what it's supposed to be. Because that's what you got to learn how to stop using drugs. You got to educate yourself.
There is nothing broken. Nothing needs to be fixed.
Staten Island District Attorney Daniel Donovan and other DAs fear the new law will allow drug dealers to wind up in treatment instead of prison.
If you put a drug dealer in treatment who doesn't have a drug dependency, drug treatment's not going to help his problem. He's a drug dealer. That person needs to go to jail.
Justice Joanne Ferdinand has presided over one of New York State's drug courts since 1996 in Brooklyn. She and 14 other judges sent a letter to the governor in support of treatment as an alternative to prison.
When you allow someone to enter treatment and you tell them the consequence will be that you will go to jail if you fail to complete the mandate, it doesn't matter to that person whether the jail sentence was mandatory or the jail sentence was discretionary set by the judge.
It's estimated that each year under the new law, as many as 3,000 nonviolent offenders will be directed into drug treatment centers, such as the Odyssey House here in Harlem. The governor has allocated an additional $50 million, but whether that's enough isn't clear. Sending an offender into treatment can cost up to $30,000, and while that's less than the cost of incarceration, it still strains a system where budgets have been cut and the state faces a huge deficit.
We treat 110,000 people every single day, and we know that because of Rockefeller drug reform, that number will likely go up, and it should go up. And that's why Governor Patterson has allotted nearly $50 million to ensure that treatment is available for all New Yorkers who need it in New York State.
Samaritan Village treats over 1,500 drug-addicted patients a day across New York State. This center in Queens is already operating at its limit.
We have a qualified system, but the system needs help in sustaining itself and being able to address the number of people that new people that come into the system. Many of the providers are not being paid adequately or don't have adequate resources to address the problems that they're facing.
And some critics ask why so much money is spent on drug rehab when so many other New Yorkers who don't use drugs can't even get basic health care. But Roy Keir says they're not asking the right question.
People ask me often, well, why should we afford this cost? Why should taxpayers have to afford the cost of $30,000 a year to treat somebody when many people who have not broken the law, when many people who have not used drugs, sometimes don't get that amount of money? Well, to me the question is, can we afford not to pay it?
Back at Odyssey House, Carlos Rangel is not concerned that more people will share the limited space at programs like his. He does regret that he never had this same opportunity when he was younger.
Put me 25 years behind bars. I come out I come out of prison, I gotta start all over again. When you do 20, you lose 25 years of your life behind bars. It's just in very little after that. And here I am, 68 years old, I'm still fighting.
This is Sandra Roa for CUNY News Update.